Hi there, welcome to the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. My name is Todd Rhoades, one of the co-founders over at chemistrystaffing.com. And today we're going to talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and ChatGPT. There are a bunch of AI models out there. There's ChatGPT by OpenAI. There's Gemini. Elon Musk has one over on X. Mark Zuckerberg has MetaAI. There are all different kinds of artificial intelligence and chatbots that are available. But should we use these for ministry? That's something I hear a lot of pastors talking about. A lot of pastors are saying, man, I'm going to use whatever I can. And other pastors are like, man, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Let's take a little bit of a look at that as we start out our week here on the podcast. Let me just call it ChatGPT. Okay, I know that's OpenAI, but let's just say ChatGPT or just GPT. Are they beneficial? What are its potential uses for ministry? Let's start here. Pew Research recently did a study specifically on chatbot usage and artificial intelligence, and it found that its usage is on the rise. Now, that's not surprising. It's a new technology, but it's on the rise even among churchgoers. And while some may be skeptical, and maybe you're one of them, I don't know, about its reliability, especially when it comes to sensitive topics like things that are going on, news and culture things, the fact remains is that AI is not going to go anywhere. You can love it, you can hate it, but it's not going to go anywhere. And as church leaders, we really do have a choice to make. We can either ignore it or we can see how it might be able to help us in ministry. Now, I realize for some, this is particularly controversial, and you may not agree with me on that, and that's fine. Don't hate me. But I want to share some of the things that I think have some potential for GPT and other AI tools in the church for the future. Okay, so here we go. I've got 3 of them here, and maybe one of them's a little bit controversial. We'll see here. First one is just community building. ChatGPT and applications like it can help facilitate online discussions. It can answer some questions that people have. It can offer some personalized prayers or encouragement, and it can even connect you with people who might not feel comfortable walking into your church doors, much like anything on the internet, any kind of online ministry, any kind of social media can do. It can be used for some community building processes. It can be used for education and discipleship. I've seen a growing number of churches that are using ChatGPT to help create maybe some interactive Bible studies, to do some research, to provide some personalized learning experiences, to really customize some things for your church. It can also help you engage some content for your social media or website channels. Okay, so education, discipleship, possibly. The third is sermon preparation. Now, before you go and say, I don't want ChatGPT to write my sermons, I don't want ChatGPT to write your sermons either. But GPT can be a tool in your sermon prep. It can be just a valuable research tool, helping you gather information and generate ideas. It can help you with some outlines, those kind of things. It can also help tailor your message to specific audiences or address current events. Now, this is going to be really controversial, okay? And I'm not suggesting that you use ChatGPT to write your sermon, because here's the clue, guys and gals. GPT can write your sermons, okay? It can do that. And I've played around with it. It can actually write a pretty decent sermon. And the technology is only going to get better to where it's going to get better and better. And actually, what used to take maybe still for some, but when I remember pastors used to spend 20, 30, 35 hours writing a message, ChatGPT can do that in a matter of about a minute and research and do a lot of those things that you have to do manually. Now, think about this. Think about it maybe in a different, you may be pushing back saying, Todd, you have crossed the line and I'm not ever listening to you again. Please don't do that. Here's my thinking on ChatGPT, and this is for what it's worth. If you write sermons, you probably have a library full of books. You probably scour the Bible. You study the Bible really hard to come up with illustrations, to come up with your exegesis and all of that kind of thing that you put into to your sermon preparation. Just think of ChatGPT as being almost like a modern concordance or a modern theological work or something Now, you have to watch it, particularly when you're talking about theology. And I'm not saying that you use this for theology. You have to be very careful because ChatGPT will take from a lot of different traditions and maybe not your tradition, but it can find sermon illustrations and help you refine your message and make it better. Okay. Not write the whole thing. I didn't say that. Don't say that I said that. Okay. But with any kind of new technology, there's always some potential pitfalls to be aware of. And the biggest concern, just overall, not even in the church with GPT, is the risk of misinformation. I believe they've come up with the word hallucination. GPT will sometimes hallucinate. Sometimes it will make things up. Many people are skeptical of the information it provides, especially on sensitive topics. And guess what? Writing your sermon and theology are very sensitive topics. So use it very sparingly, but use it. If you don't use it, at least play around with it so that you get to know the technology. It's really crucial to approach this with discernment, but also with some critical thinking. Don't blindly accept everything it says. Verify your information and have an open conversation with your church about the use of tools like this. It's a tool. It's not a replacement. Don't worry. It's not going to take your job. You are still incredibly important and a vital part of God's plan. It's not going to be smarter than you, at least yet. But if you use it thoughtfully and responsibly, it can be an aid and powerful assistant in your ministry. In many ways, we're church guys and gals, we're just fooling ourselves if we think that AI is not going to change the game for the church. It is, because it's going to change the game for everything. So we can either embrace it or we can run from it. And we have to be careful, but I think we at least need to open up our eyes and ears to how this can help us to be more effective in ministry, and those areas that we do not ever want to use ChatGPT or any kind of AI. So don't be afraid. Explore the possibilities. It might just be a tool that could help you and your church and in your ministry. Okay, if you have any questions, want to share any feedback, I'd love to hear it. My email address, you can reach me anytime at podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. We're here every day on the podcast, Monday through Friday. Hope you'll join us again right here tomorrow.